Yo guys, Haku here with a thoughts and discussion video, maybe a little bit of predictions on Vito, Kaiju Vito, or Monster Gun Vito of the Firetank Pirates. Now Vito is a character we were introduced to, I think, 2 chapters back. He was mentioned and shown a little, and then we got a character panel of him last chapter. And he is the advisor of the Firetank Pirates, which are Capone's crew that works under Big Mom. Now, he's important given that he appears to be Capone's right-hand man, and Capone's a supernova. He's a pretty big character, one of the worst generation supernovas along with Luffy and Blackbeard and Law and Kid. So he has a relatively important role to play, and I think his right-hand man will also, just by association, he's going to have something to do in the story. And we've seen he already has some interesting things so far that we need to talk about. So first, Oda gave him a character panel with the little box and stuff explaining his name and who he is and stuff. So, what I mean by explaining is just giving, his name, rank, and, what are those things called? Epithet. Did my voice crack? Epithet or whatever. So when being given a character panel, I would say that Vito is at least Doflamingo crew executive level of story importance. And from some of the things we've seen of him, I think he may end up being even more important to the coming story than the Doflamingo executives were. Or at least the small Doflamingo executives. Now, the biggest thing I'm talking about when I keep saying that is when he whispered something in Sanji's ear, and Sanji was like, "How did you come to know that?" That alone makes me think that he's an advisor too. That's his rank. So between being an advisor and knowing something to whisper in Sanji's ear and surprise him, I'd say he has some sort of information for sure on Sanji's family or what's going on with the wedding. Something substantial enough that he knows that would make Sanji want to come to the wedding. And he has to come to the wedding and can't just ditch out with the rest of his crew like he was originally planning. And Vito also, we saw, had subdued Nami and Chopper during the part where Capone lets his crew out of his chest or whatever. So for him to be able to do that, Nami and Chopper aren't scrubs. They're Straw Hats, and Luffy has said before, I think it was Luffy, that every member of the Straw Hat is combat ready. They are all able to fight and defend themselves. They don't have any non-combat positions. And even, I'm pretty sure back at Punk Hazard, Nami used the lightning bolt tempo or whatever, or thunderbolt tempo, I'm not sure what she calls it, but she used that to bring down Buffalo and Baby 5, I believe. So in that, he's already being built up as, hey, this guy is stronger than the normal Doflamingo executives. I would say that he's probably at least the big executive level of strength. And that's a bit of a jump, but I think that he's interesting enough for me to make a video on alone. So I think that he is going to be strong and be he's not going to be a huge bad guy, but he's going to be a relatively cool bad guy that's part of this whole Big Mom and Capone crew and arc that we're going to be getting into at some point eventually. So I think that he's strong. We've seen it because we saw that he could capture Nami and Chopper. Now, as for his appearance, the dude's tall. A lot of One Piece characters are tall. He's tall, pretty thin. He's got the slick back hair, those little glasses. He has some tattoos on his forehead and the backs of his hands, I believe. Yeah, so he has those, and his hands are freaking huge. He has just massive, giant hands, and he has the little swirly tongue that's always sticking out. And I think that gives him a very lizard-like appearance, personally. And he also is Kaiju Vito, which Kaiju, with the way they're using it, means monster gun or strange gun. But Kaiju could also, it could be like Sea Beast, like what they call Godzilla and Friends. So between that nickname being a portmanteau and his appearance, I would say that he's for sure got some sort of lizard-related devil fruit. Maybe even if I doubt it would happen, but it would be it'd be a really fun concept if he had some sort of Godzilla fruit. Like he or his guns could become Godzilla. And that brings me into, I don't think that he himself has the devil fruit, because his gun in the character panel we saw made a slurping sound. So I would say that definitely means his gun is alive, and his name is Strange Gun or Monster Gun. So I actually think that he doesn't have a devil fruit. His appearance is just like what Oda does with some silly looking or themed looking characters, and his gun is actually what has the devil fruit. Because we've seen weapons with devil fruits, but we haven't seen, especially Zoan fruits, but we haven't seen any really recently in the New World. I mean, the closest thing to that we've seen in the New World, I think, is probably the axolotl fruit that Smiley had. And Smiley wasn't a traditional weapon, but back before time skip, remember, we had Funkfried, the elephant sword, and we had, what is his name? Was he Mr. Four? Mr. Four's little bazooka thing? Lasso, that was the name. The dog bazooka. Or pitching machine. Something. It was a bazooka, but it shot baseballs, I think. One Piece. But, yeah. Getting distracted there. We haven't seen that a lot, and I think it'd be cool to have, like, a more serious bad guy with, like, serious, dangerous, transforming weapons powers. Because Spandam and Funkfried never really did much of... They didn't do much of anything in terms of, like, combat and fighting, and Mr. Four definitely did, and I love the fight way back in Alabasta with Usopp and Chopper. That's one of my favorite fights in One Piece, actually, for some reason. I don't know, it just really stuck with me, but I think that it'd be good to see a serious fighting character with devil fruit weapons. Something else that's interesting to note, maybe he does have a devil fruit. Maybe he got like the lizard fruit model gecko, iguana, and some other type of lizard, like a like a chameleon, and say like he ate a devil fruit, and each of his two guns is also imbued with a devil fruit, so they're all three different types of lizards or something. That again is a pretty unlikely guess, but I think it'd be very fun, and I think it's fun to just throw out fun guesses like that, because what if maybe they are right eventually? Now, I doubt it, but they could be going with some sort of Godzilla theme with him. Maybe they'll have some sort of joke go on or some big fight, and it's a Godzilla throwback, or what I think, and this is just, this whole Big Mom storyline is one big homage to Alice in Wonderland. He could most certainly be Bill the Lizard, because he's the lizard-like character inside of the house that you grow and shrink to get out of, which is Capone. So I do think he could be Bill the Lizard, he could be Godzilla, or he could just be a lizard-themed character that Oda wanted to make a lizard-themed character. We've had animal-themed characters. Haku was a freaking giraffe, so he could just be a random lizard, for all we know. But I do think it's safe to say, in my opinion, that he or his guns have some sort of lizard devil fruit. So I guess pretty much what I've been trying to say in this video, in conclusion, is that I think he's going to be relatively important to the story, more important than the weaker Doflamingo executives, and I think that he or his guns, maybe both, have some sort of lizard devil fruit ability. So I would say, if you want to, check out my theory on how the Big Mom arc is the Alice in Wonderland. I'll leave a link in the description, probably, to the Alice in Wonderland homage. I probably worded that wrong, but you understand what I'm saying. As always, I'll have more One Piece out, like 3-4 One Piece videos a week. I'll have Tower of God videos every week. Same with, I'll have like 3 or 4 Tower of God videos a week too. And then probably one a week for Walking Dead until the show comes back. Then once the show comes back, I'll likely have 3 or 4 a week, just like all my other series. And I'm doing random videos, doing 2 anime reviews on the weekends. So just stick around the channel if you want to see more videos. I ordered a mic the other day, so I'm finally getting a good microphone. Excited about that. Thank you guys for all the support and watching. Like and comment and subscribe if you want to. Tell me what you think about this theory, and just join in the discussion that I'm having with myself and a camera here. Alright, thank you for the support. I'll see you guys around.